Greetings everyone, I am Glitch and welcome to another video. Today a video just dropped by an artist that I am a fan of, and that is Tom Macdonald. You can tell by my shirt. I bought this a few years, I bought two of them, one of them is for another reason, but he dropped this new song called The System, and from what I saw on Instagram and Facebook, that song is already getting shadow banned on different platforms, but it's number one on iTunes and hip hop right now still, I believe, the last I checked. But I've been hearing that people weren't able to find it on Spotify. I think Amazon was another one. I'm going to have to check to see if Tom has an update on that. But this new song is called The System. And knowing Tom, he might have said something that made the system not happy. So, I don't know what to expect with Tom. A lot of his stuff is basically satire, or it's all just made to cause a discussion. That's what a lot of his music does. And they're discussions that a lot of people do not want to have. So, without further ado, let's see what I can catch in this video, see if I know what Tom is talking about.
Welcome to the world, baby boy. I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick.
Okay, I see where he's going with this. So, welcome, baby boy. Welcome to Red, White, and Blue. Red, White, and Blue talking about the American flag. They indoctrinate you as soon as you leave the room or the womb. Sorry, I am stuttering. This is why I put that disclaimer in the description of all my videos. It's because I'm a stutter. But indoctrinate you as soon as you leave the womb. So indoctrination is a real thing. There is some schools that try to do it. Like, if you look at the most recent events that has happened, in Florida passed a bill known as the Parental Rights in Education Bill, which basically lets parents have the liberty to know what their kids are being taught in school. And it also prevents sexual orientation classes, is gender identity classes, sex education from grades K through third grade. That's all that bill does, and they're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill because a lot of the time they want to groom the kids. So Florida put a stop to that, but it is true that certain schools will try to do it, especially in the liberal states. Or the far left states, so to speak. A lot of schools will try to do that if you're in that area of the country. But I went to a school that's basically on the right, but I lived in a left-leaning area for some of my life, but I see where he is going with this.
What will make you stupid with curriculums at school? And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget.
Yes. Pick the red or the blue. Pick your team. So, I already know what my team is. I am a mixture of a libertarian and a conservative, but I identify as a conservative because I could see both viewpoints, but I mostly lean more towards the right than I do as a libertarian. But red and blue, he's talking about the blue and red pills most likely. We first saw it in the Matrix movies where they make Neo make a choice where Morpheus says, you take the blue pill, or you wake up in the morning, you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how far the rabbit hole goes. So he's basically saying, what's your side? You want to see how far the rabbit hole goes? Or do you want to stay here and believe what they want you to believe? The news there's a lot of political bias in the news these days. There's a lot of censorship. Like if you look at the New York Post admitting something about Hunter Biden's laptop, that story got censored because they did not want that story to get out when a lot of people already knew what was going on during that time because they would damage what they have planned. What else was there?
Get to make you stupid with curriculums at school, and if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news.
It was so yeah. They'll try to teach you stuff in schools, like I mentioned with the Florida Rights and Education Bill, that's going to come into law later this summer. Or they will try, and a lot of state governments are trying to either push that stuff forward or try to stop it from coming into curriculum. I know Florida already passed it. I believe there are several other states happening now that's trying to push the same bill. I know here in my state we do have a mandatory sex ed class for all grades, which I fully disagree with. If that should not be taught to K through 3, I think it will be more appropriate if it's, let's see, what is the puberty stages? I know it starts around 11 or 12 years of age when children start to hit puberty. But if it's like somewhere around there, I would kind of understand it. But the way I would mostly prefer it is if it's in high school, where it's bi-yearly. That is where I would totally accept it, because that's how my school was run. Or I would much rather have the parents teach them that, like it did with me. But they will try to have teachers do it within the curriculum. There's a lot of stuff hidden within school curriculums that a lot of parents do not know about, that they try to hide, which is why transparency within the school system is important. So I see where he's going with that. Kind of figured at the beginning he would talk about the school curriculums and whatnot. But hey, it's Tom. He's bound to make you have a discussion.
News, pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose.
Yeah, that is true, because usually when you vote, like especially what happened with last election, a lot of people hated the previous administration, so they voted for the other side and they think that they would win. But a lot of people who voted for the current administration right now ended up getting screwed over. So even if you win your vote, you will still lose. Basically, that's how that works. It doesn't matter if what you vote for is the right thing. There is something bound to happen that would be bad. Like currently, like see if I remember this right. I remember during the last election that there's a lot of crazy stuff that went on with Trump saying fraud and whatnot that did not have that much proof, but there was a lot of shady stuff that happened during the election. But the other thing is like promises that the current administration made that he has not fulfilled. Like he said he was not going to ban fracking. He banned fracking. And fracking is like a very green way to get fuel source or coal, basically. He said he wasn't going to shut down the Keystone Pipeline, and all the workers believed him, so they ended up voting for him. And what did he do the first day he was in office? He shut the project down. And that was a big stab on the economy. But he did contradict himself, but I'm not going to probably get into that. But maybe later in the video he might touch up more on that, and I might be able to explain it. I'm not going to be able to break down a lot of this stuff.
Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's more what the music industry does. So he's touching up back on this. So a lot of record labels, those that sign artists, the artists will make songs that would be like flexing. So they'll be like, "Oh, look at this car! This car is cool. Ooh, Gucci is sick," and it would make people go out and get that stuff. But in reality, it's not as cool. It's not. I mean, I don't like wearing Gucci at all. I mean, most of my stuff is just like gaming memorabilia. You can see all the posters and autograph stuff. That's stuff that I'm mostly into, and no artist told me to get that. I wanted to get that myself. Oh, but yeah, artists nowadays, especially in the mumble rap industry, they talk about like weird stuff. Like I saw something on my Instagram page. What was it, like PP Cocaine or something like that? I don't know that artist's name. I never heard of that artist. And it said that YouTube gave the artist a strike, and I was like, why did the artist get a strike? I looked at it. I could not watch it. It was terrible. It's like, I don't even want to get into it. I don't even remember what the song was. It was her latest hit.
Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose. But our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the...
Yeah. Go overseas because there's oil you can use. There's a lot of oil in the Middle East. I know Syria, Afghanistan, I believe. But there's a lot of oil in the Middle East that hasn't been touched or is owned by another country. And right now, America is not doing well with oil. Not whatsoever. I mean, our federal oil reserves, that is taking a hit because the government decided to use it because of our chain crisis with Russia, because that's where a lot of our oil comes from. But there's other places where we can actually get it. The Gulf of Mexico has a ton of oil in there, and we haven't even touched it at all because no one would let us. Keystone Pipeline would have helped as well.
The problem, so you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom. There's some oil we can use.
Yeah, a lot of soldiers that go overseas fight for the freedom and our rights. But sometimes the fight is not worth it. Like the whole thing with Afghanistan, we shouldn't have been there at all. Oh, but it's good that we took out the terrorists that caused 9/11 and whatnot, but we had no reason to stay there after that. We should have just called it quits, but they ended up staying there for like an extra 20 years. Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose, but our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? Your depressed society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married.
Medication? Is that what he said? I'm gonna have to.
Your depressed society.
You do what we want you to do. That's what the problem with your depressed.
Has you confused? We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse.
Oh, drug abuse. One thing I know about Tom Macdonald is that he did abuse. He was a heavy smoker. He was a drinker. He was on medication that he abused, if I remember correctly. If Tom does end up seeing this, he could confirm that, because I remember hearing him talk about addiction and alcoholism in previous tracks. Actually, come to think of it, I think Sober was the biggest thing, the one that he did with Mad Child, and I gotta tell you, that song put me to tears.
Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you.
Yeah. Educate your kids right, folks. That's what I have to say. raise them at the best of your ability so that you can have them make their own decisions. Just raise them the best you can. Don't let them be clueless as you could possibly be. As Adam Calhoun said in the song First World Order, I bet you that they're going to put that Wikipedia conspiracy theory entry at the bottom of this video. But he said, I'm just trying to raise my kids the best of my ability. We need to raise our kids at the best of our ability. That way they can actually last.
To the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Yeah. That is pretty true. He mentioned this in Fake Woke too. Because, what was the line? I think I remember it. Yeah, it was, I think Black Lives Matter is the stupidest name when the system treats everybody exactly the same. That is absolutely true. But there's a catch to it. It's called a narrative. The reason why you don't hear about the other side of that argument is because they always pin it on the minority, when in reality there is also situations that happen to other races as well. Like if you do white cop on white man, they won't talk about it. If you do black cop on white man, they don't really talk about it. If you do black on black, heck, they don't really talk about it. But if you do white on black, then the media goes up in flames. It's called a narrative. It's a narrative that they push way too often. That's why with some of the shootings that happened in 2020, I can name one. Jacob Blake. I believe it was Jacob Blake. What the media failed to mention was that Jacob Blake was actually in a physical altercation with an officer, and he tried to flee police. And the thing is, he also had a deadly weapon. So based on a lot of circumstances that happened, fleeing from police, deadly weapon, and a lot of stuff that came out proved that it was justified. But the way the media framed it was that it was police brutality or systemic racism and whatnot. But in reality, it was completely justified. The media just failed to mention all the other details of the case. They just said, oh, white officer shoots black guy. And they said that Jacob Blake was dead. No. Jacob Blake is still alive. He's just paralyzed from the waist down. And that is it. And media came out later and said, oh, Jacob Blake is alive, by the way. It's like, what are you guys trying to push? We need all the facts. We just don't need little tiny details that you want us to hear. We need everything. And when an article comes out, don't just use one source. Look at everything and find out what's going on.
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
I do like that flow, though. I am curious to see what Knox Hill is going to say about this. I wonder if that video is going to come out tomorrow. Oh, I know Knox reacts to Tom Macdonald quite often, even when a new video comes out. But if it comes out, I want to see what Knox has to say. I love his breakdowns. But I'm pretty sure he's going to appreciate that flow, too. Because a lot of the times, when Tom makes a hook, it doesn't really stick. But I don't really care that much about the hook. I just want to hear how the flow goes. I mean, listen to that.
It's a symptom, doesn't for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all.
I really like that flow. Yeah, I know Knox is probably going to appreciate that. Come on, play.
Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome. So for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate, objectify.
I need to bring that back and listen to that again.
Okay, we'll encourage self-destruction.
So he says, "Welcome, baby girl. Let me put you in pink if that's okay." So usually, when a baby is born, and they name the sex of the baby, they usually put them in a blue blanket or a pink blanket. Blue meaning boy, pink meaning girl. Oh, so encourage self-destruction
Through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race.
Yeah. Yep. Completely forgot about that. Dividing men from women and whatnot, using politics and race. Don't bring politics into gender. It's basic biology. I mean, look at me. I'm cis, okay? I believe that a woman is a woman and a man is a man. And I have a ton of beliefs about the whole transgender thing and whatnot. And don't get me wrong. I'm going to say this straight up. I support the LGBTQ. Okay? I support them, but I have limitations to that support. But I'll get into this like another time, and I will explain probably later if you guys want me to. I'll tell you in the comments on how far I go about this, and that's a promise.
And honestly, it's working awesome. So for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate, objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape.
Yeah, don't blame the women for that. Rapes happen. What else?
Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you.
Yeah, we need to learn to love ourselves for the way who we are. I mean, take what's going on with critical race theory as well, because critical race theory itself is racist. Because all critical race theory does is just tell you, oh, you're awful. You should hate yourself for all this. It's your fault for this. It's your fault for that. I completely do not support that. I don't think that crap should be taught into schools.
You full of hate, objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape and weaponize the differences.
Oh yeah, there's the sexual identity stuff. But I don't really care what your sexual identity is. I don't really care. It's your life. If we have the 14th Amendment for that. Whatever you guys want to do with your life, I don't care. You do you, and I'll do me. That's the miracle of the 14th Amendment. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If that makes you happy, if that brings you happiness, good for you.
That make our men and women great, then just to screw with you, erase the genders. Everyone's the same.
Okay, no, not everybody is the same. I'm going to point that out straight up. Not everybody is the same. And men have penises, women have vaginas. It's basic biology. If men are supposed to give women their seed, they're supposed to grow a baby, they're supposed to give birth, they're supposed to raise a family. There is a lot of people are saying that, oh, gender is not a thing. No, gender is a thing. Gender is a thing. It's how we basically identify ourselves. Oh, you cannot magically change your gender. Or I might look up a debate that Ben Shapiro had. That debate was actually kind of funny, and he brought up very good points. So I'm going to have to try to find it. I saw it recently too. I think it was Doc Rich that did it. I'm going to find that video and I'll link that argument in the description.
Empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay, then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again.
Oh yeah, women's rights and feminism. So back in the old days, I'm going to give a little history lesson. And back in the old days, the only people that were allowed to vote were men who own property, and basically women were not a thing, and they did not allow women to vote back then. And the whole women's right movement was part of it was the right for women to vote, and equal pay is still going on. Like that transgender soccer player, I believe that woman is transgender. I can't remember who it is. She has pink hair. You guys will probably tell me who I'm talking about. But she keeps on going on about equal pay when in reality she makes more than men does. So that is kind of a stupid argument because you already make more than men. Are you saying that you want a pay decrease? That does not make any sense to me. But men turn into women and you fight for them again. Yeah, that's not right. I mean, if you want to turn yourself into a woman, I recommend you do it till after you turn 18 and become a full-fledged adult. I recommend that. Don't, if he mentions it about kids transitioning at a very young age before they hit 18, I bet he's going to mention it. I bet he's going to.
But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay.
Yep, you're all part of the system. You live here. Or enjoy it while you're still here.
The Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we made. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system.
Yeah, that's basically what I would, well, not entirely what I would want. I would like a family. I would like a wife. I would like to have kids. I would like to raise those kids so that they can make their own decisions. But the thing is, we're all part of the same system. It's just a circle of life. Or some of the time, not majority, I'm correcting myself. Some of the time, men do not find partners and women don't find partners. So they can't procreate. Sometimes that happens. I mean, if you look at the statistics right now, I'm not too sure if you'll call them statistics, but right now, conservatives are having more children and liberals are having less. So right now, we are having trouble with birth rates and whatnot because the liberal side of the aisle or the left, if they tend to have less children, what was the number? I think they will have like 2 to none, and conservatives would have like 2 to 3. I think oh no, I got that from Tim Cast. So I'm pretty sure that was the number. He talked about it quite a bit.
Everyone's a victim, doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom, fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim, doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom, fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, everybody. I'ma paint you black and white. I'ma make you hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you our religion, let the righteous find the light, but I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ.
Wow. Science and religion doesn't mix, in my opinion. And because they're always changing the science. That's the thing. They are always changing the science. And that pretty much needs to stop. They should not change the science at all. Oh, I mean, in the beginning, God created space. He created the earth. He created the trees, the grass. He created the animals. He made mankind in his image. And what God wanted was a man and a woman. He made the man to be able to pregnate the woman and the woman to raise kids. And he did that with everything. Now look at it. Science is claiming that, well, one, men can be women, women can be men. No. So men cannot be women, in my humble opinion. And they're saying that men can get pregnant and give birth. No, they can't. Men don't have a uterus. They don't have a vagina. Basic biology. Nowadays, when you ask a person, hey, what is a woman? They can't answer because they honestly don't know. I'll give you the answer. A woman is an adult human female. That's the answer. Basic biology. And now, what's the science doing? They're changing it. Don't change it. And oppose the word of Christ? Yeah, basically. They're insulting it.
And I'ma give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies.
Yeah, war is not good, by the way. War is not good. I mean, you can cross borders peacefully. Definitely. I mean, you can cross the border from U.S. into Canada. All you need is a passport and proper documentation. Same thing with going to Mexico. Passport, proper documentation. If you're in the United States, you don't really need those things. It's because you're just going state to state. There's no border patrol.
And I'ma give you money that you'll value more than life, and let the 1% have everything while you fight to survive. And then I'll give you politics, I'll call it left and right. And while you divide yourselves, I will conquer both the sides.
Yeah, by the way, Tom is not on either side of the aisle. He is, I believe he said he was independent. I think that's what he said he is. I mean, he doesn't like either side of the aisle. I'm trying to remember what else he said. Because I remember listening to him talk about that. He's not conservative. He's not liberal. I don't think he's any of the political standings. But yeah, he's basically conquering both the sides already. Because right now, it's just causing a discussion. That's it. And right now, I'm discussing it on my points of views of things. But it is true. He is actually conquering both the sides.
Can't you see? I'm the system. My whole purpose is divide. What you choose will never matter because everything is mine.
Yeah, that is completely true about the system, because right now, everything is so divided. It's insane. In recent years, things even gotten more divided. I mean, take the whole George Floyd incident. And yes, I am bringing that up. The whole George Floyd incident caused a huge divide. Black Lives Matter started rising up, and then all of a sudden, All Lives Matter popped up. Why? Because a lot of people feel excluded from Black Lives Matter because all it's talking about is Black lives. Fun fact, Black Lives Matter doesn't care about Black lives at all. Reason why I know that is because there's not a shred of evidence that they actually care. I'll give you the biggest piece of evidence. Look at all the destruction that happened in 2020. What was the number? Like $2 billion of property damage due to the riots. News did not cover that. News did not cover that at all. And everybody pretty much knew it. The divide of everybody is like so big. Like, if you say like one thing, they get so offended and they won't talk to you anymore. The divide is so big and it's right there. It's what the system wants. It wants the division. And right now, things are so divided, it is crazy.
Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, Nova, you did an excellent job videoing this video. I love her cinematography when it comes to making Tom's videos. She does an excellent job editing. I mean, she is just amazing at what she does. And Tom, he knows how to make a discussion happen. That's the best part about what Tom does. Is he makes people talk. And hey, I appreciate what he did. I appreciate what he did. It really made me voice my opinions on things. That much is for sure. But I might react to Tom again. Maybe. Maybe I would. But we shall see. I might do some of his older stuff and talk about him. Give my points of views on him. I just need to find the right one because there's a couple of them I actually quite liked. But that is for another video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below any more videos that you want me to see or react to. If it's a Tom Macdonald song, I would definitely check it out. Maybe it's one I haven't heard. Now, I'm sure I missed some stuff, and I'm pretty sure you guys will clarify. And I just know I'm going to get a lot of probably criticism, most likely. But till then, I am Glitch. Peace.